Welcome back, guys. This is going to be another video in our free CSS course here. And today we're going to talk about positioning elements with the float property in CSS. So this is how layouts used to be made before there was more modern things like CSS Flexbox and CSS Grid, which is what we use today to position things on the page and put them side by side. Even though this is like an older way of doing things and an older like technology, you should still know what it is because you will still today run into a lot of like if you're working on like WordPress or older websites, or if you get picked up by a company who has a lot of older legacy code, you might go into their front end and see like that they're using these things called floats to position things. So that's why you should learn them. There's a lot of legacy code out there that you should really at least know about and know that it exists, and this is one of those things. Okay, it's called floats. So what float was originally intended for was to make images appear next to text if you had like a news article or like an article on a page. That was like what it's supposed to be used for. So you can make it go right or left of like text. And then what happened over time is developers kind of like made it like a hacky kind of way of like making layouts for pages, and they made it work for a while. But yeah, it's not the best practice anymore, but I'm gonna, like I said, we're gonna learn it now, so just bear with me. It's really not that hard to understand, but just know what it is. Okay, so I'm gonna move that over there, and we're gonna go ahead and gonna open up my Visual Studio Code here, and I'm gonna get my CSS code for the course up. And I'm going to name this next lesson 11-CSS floats. Oops, not XSS. We want CSS floats.html. And I'm in Visual Studio Code, guys. You should go ahead and I encourage you to open up your favorite text editor or Visual Studio Code and follow along with me and write the code out so that you can make your own little demo website with me and pick up this concept a little bit better. So I'm going to get my boilerplate text, and we're going to name our document CSS floats. Oops. Try that again. CSS floats. Okay. And then I'm going to make all of our styles on this HTML page was just by using an HTML style tag up in the head of the document underneath my title. I'm not going to make a separate CSS sheet for this lesson. But we'll go ahead and get started here. So let's go ahead and we'll make some divs. So I'm going to make a container div that's going to align our page. And then within that container, I'm going to make a div called box1. And then, I'm going to give it an ID. We'll make that an ID, and then we'll use classes for styling. So we'll give an ID of box1, and then we'll say class box, just to keep things consistent. And then within here, I'll just put like an H2, and I'll put heading, and I'll put a paragraph, and we'll put some placeholder lorem ipsum text of like 100 words. Actually, let's make that like 50. Just make it like 50 words. There we go. 100 is a little too much, I think. And then let's go ahead and launch our page. I'm going to launch my web page that I'm making with the live server extension for Visual Studio Code. And that's what we have so far. And then I'm going to make some more. We'll make some more boxes. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this and copy this down a couple times. And give this an ID of box 2 and this one an ID of box 3. Okay. So now we got 3 little divs with text and a heading. Now we're going to add some styles to the page. So first I'm going to start by doing a little CSS reset on this thing. I'm going to go margin 0, padding 0, box sizing, border box. Okay, if you don't know what this does or what a CSS reset is, I have a whole video of it in this playlist for this course, or just search Practical Web Dev CSS reset, and you can learn more about resets for CSS. I'm gonna give I'm gonna style up that container div that we made, and I'll give it a max width of 950 pixels, we'll say, and then we'll do some margin. Say 30 pixels top and bottom, auto left and right to center. So what that does, margin 30 pixels top and bottom of space. So we want white space of 30 pixels top and bottom, and then auto will center our content. So now it's centered in the page. See how it's centered now? And then we can go ahead and we'll style up those divs with our box class that we have. So let's just select it with the class selector, the dot. So we'll say dot box, and we'll go background, and we'll say F4, 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 and then we'll give each one a border, and we'll go 1 pixel solid, and we'll say black, and then we'll do, let's see what that looks like so far full screen. Okay, there it is. We'll give it some padding. Let's give the content some padding within the box. So we'll say 20 pixels all around. So now there's some space between the words and the edges of our boxes. And then we'll separate our boxes a little bit by saying margin bottom. We'll give it 15 pixels. So now there's some white space there. All right, guys. So we have 3 boxes here, and they're all styled up. They're looking better, right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to take, we'll take a couple of the boxes. We'll take box 2 and 3, and we'll use float properties to put them side by side, and we'll give them some widths so that they look like an actual layout. So let's go back here, and I'm going to go underneath my box CSS, and I'm going to select box 2 with a little hashtag for selecting IDs. And I'm going to say float that left. And then we'll give it a width of, let's say, 65%. Use percentage. Okay. So now that's floated left with the 65% of the page being covered. Now let's take our, copy this down and select box 2. And let's float that right. So we'll put this one on the right. And then let's give this a width of like 30%. And we'll see what happens. Boom. Look at that, guys. So this is how, so floating left, floating right, give it percentages. So it takes up percentages of the page here of our little container. See, it stops here because we have our container class, right? Also would go all the way across the page. But as you can see here, we just made like a layout. This looks like a modern kind of like layout, or like maybe like a blog style layout for a blog site. And we did that using floats, okay? So this is how websites used to be laid out back in the day. And they would just make sections, use floats, and then a couple other things that I'm going to show you. One more thing that I want to point out is floating, and a lot of other things wouldn't work if we didn't do our CSS reset. If we take away this box sizing border box, it's actually going to mess up our design. They're not next to each other because margins and paddings add extra width to elements unless you have that box sizing border box. So always make sure you use box sizing border box so your stuff doesn't get changed on you without you realizing it, basically. And I go over that in the resets video, but floats will not work if you don't have that box sizing border box for sure. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out. And then I want to show you like another behavior with floats. That'll happen if you don't do something. So I'm going to copy this box down, it's box 3, and we'll make a box 4. And now look what happened to our box 4. Our floats are sitting on top of it. So that's just the behavior that floated objects have. Because remember, originally floated objects were meant to have to float an image left or right to the right of some text on a website. They weren't really meant for layout. So to get around that, you have to do something called clearing your float. So to do that, the easiest way to do that is to just come up here and make a class called clear. and then just put clear both, and that'll clear the left and right floats. And now since we made that a class, we can just put that class on any element that we want to be cleared, okay? So above the box 4, I'm going to put a div with that clear box, or the clear class, I mean. And that should fix it. Let's see. And it did. So since we cleared the floats, we told CSS, hey, this isn't a part of the float area, clear, and then put our element. Now it went below here, okay? So that's really all I wanted to show you with floats. Again, this was like an old way of positioning elements on a website to make more complicated designs. Before floats, people actually used HTML tables to make layouts, and your HTML would just be like a bunch of tables and table cells, and they would just use different, like this would be a table, these would all be separate tables, and that's how they would like position stuff, and it was an even bigger mess than floats. So thank God now we have stuff like CSS Flexbox and Grid, which we're going to learn later here in the course. But yeah, just know that this is a thing. If you're working on an old website and you see something, if you see like elements that are floated and then cleared, it's because it's just older, and that's how they built the website. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.